Hi, I'm Michael Yardney, and have you ever wondered why the rich keep getting richer and why the gap between the rich and the poor keeps widening? Well, today I'm going to explain a little bit about this and give you some facts and share some of my personal findings, having mentored over 2,000 successful and some not so successful business people, entrepreneurs and investors. Plus, I've got some exciting news. Today I'm announcing the pre-release of my 7th book, Michael Yardney's Guide to Getting Rich, which is the byproduct of the last 15 years study working with and mentoring some very, very successful people. You can get your copy by clicking the link on the website. Pre-release stocks are there now and full stocks are on the way. Anyway, getting back to why the rich are getting richer. Yes, the rich are getting richer. There's no denying it. In fact, they're getting a lot richer. And the poor, what do they get? Well, too often they get ignored. We don't even know who they are. According to the new OECD survey, the income gap between the richest and the poorest around the world is at the highest it's been in 30 years. And in its 37 member states, the richest 10% of the population earns close to 10 times the income of the poorest 10%. One of the factors the OECD blames against this growing inequality is more casual work, temporary work, part-time work, temporary contracts. The good news, though, is that Australia is not only the wealthiest country in the world, but also the one with the most equal distributions of wealth. The OECD study also shows that Australia stands out as the only advanced country where the distribution of income has become more equal since the GFC. But what does all this mean? Well, the richest 5% of Australian households have a net wealth equivalent to $2.78 million, which is marginally above the OECD average. The richest 1% own about $4.5 million. However, the middle 60% of households have a net worth of about $211 million. Have you ever wondered why the rich are getting richer and how you can join the ranks of the rich? Why the gap between the rich and average person keeps getting wider? Why some people work less and earn more, while others just seem to be on a treadmill? Have you thought about what the rich think, know and do that makes them rich? How to maximise your success with money, your finances or your future? Well, how do the wealthy get rich? It's not anything to do with luck, and it's not because they've had a better formal education or rich parents. For many, it's because they've had a special money education and have learned the right way of thinking, and they display rich habits every day. So what can we learn from the rich that'll help others become successful in life? Now, this is an important question because 80% of all the affluent rose from poverty or middle class. Somehow they were able to break out of that social class and become wealthy and become successful. So how did they do it? What secrets did they possess? What do they know that everyone else doesn't know? Now, that's exactly what I'm keen to share with you in my new book, Michael Yardney's Guide to Getting Rich. But here's a sneak peek at 3 reasons. Firstly, the rich think in a different way, and this leads them to act in a different way to the average person. Secondly, the rich have habits, I guess what I call success habits, that separates them from the average Australian. In fact, I share 39 ways the rich think very differently in my new book, The Guide to Getting Rich. So order your copy now. And the third thing is it actually has a lot to do with property. All around the world, the wealthy invest in real estate. Now, I actually don't discuss a lot about property in my book, The Guide to Getting Rich. There's too much important material to cover. However, the enormous growth in real estate values is one of the reasons the rich is getting richer and the equality gap is widening. Over the last century, much of the new wealth has come from owning land rather than other forms of capital. In 2014, Australia minted 43,500 new millionaires. But the question to ask is, are they really wealthy? Many people technically are considered millionaires, though they lack the lifestyle of a millionaire. They don't have the abundance of both time and money. In other words, they need to keep working, they keep plodding away, they keep going on that treadmill in order to earn an income, only to give much of it away to taxes. They're often asset rich, but cash flow poor. Bet you know somebody like that. And that's not really smart, is it? Having money stuck away where you can't get at it is pointless. Here's the simple truth. If you want to become rich, you've got to stop doing what most people are doing. My study found the sad reality is that most people never achieve financial freedom. They keep running on that mouse wheel for most of their lives, only to retire on less than they earned in that 9-to-5 grind. Further, my study found that the main reason most people will never become rich is because of their money habits. The average person does different things with money because they're not financially fluent, They don't understand how money works. It's also because the programming they received about money, wealth and rich people when they were children, and at ages when their brains soaked up all the information around them like a sponge. The fact is your brain is hardwired to think, feel and respond in a certain way to different ideas, events and objects, including money and wealth. You weren't born knowing how to do money, and unfortunately most of us were programmed in an unwealthy way. But the good news is you can be reprogrammed. You wake up each day, for the most part, thinking 90% of what you thought yesterday, and you expect a different result. Isn't that amazing? You use the same words, you go through the same motions, and you often do the same things over and over again. But I bet you were hoping for a new result. Now that's called insanity, isn't it? So what should you do? If you'd like to learn the science of getting rich and join the wealthy, then you really must buy my latest book, My Guide to Getting Rich, so you can enjoy the lifestyle you deserve. Why don't you click on the link and get your hard copy or a Kindle copy? Now, of course you'd expect me to say buy my book, but this book is based on what I've learned about how the rich act, and they act very, very differently to the average person. It's what I've gleaned by mentoring over 2,000 people in my 12-month mentorship program over the last decade. I've learned how the rich and successful people think and act very, very differently to the average Australian. You see, I've mentored people at all stages of their wealth journey. So in my book, I cover information for people who are living from month to month but want to get out of the rat race and become rich. People who are already financially comfortable but aspire for more. People who want to create lifetime wealth. For you, if you want to teach your children how to become rich and leave a legacy. Now, quick warning, there's no get-rich-quick schemes, and this isn't theory. My team and I at Metropole have helped thousands of ordinary Australians succeed in property investment. In fact, we've been involved in over $2 billion worth of property transactions. But I've also learned that most investors fail. I've learned what works and what doesn't work, and more importantly, why the rich keep getting richer, and I've documented this in my book. This means you can grow your wealth faster and safer than average, but the real benefit is you're going to have the financial independence that all of us want, and you're going to have the choices in life that the wealthy people have. So click on the link below and order your copy of My Guide to Getting Rich and get a financial blueprint for your future. Oh, one last request. Before you click on the link, when you order your own copy, I'd really appreciate it if you send me your success stories when you build your own substantial asset base and develop your own financial freedom. Those emails really make my day.